Hello and welcome. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge 2025 uh, Weekend Battle number 4, April edition, um, based on the case The Formula Bar and Grill by Brian Wright and adapted by the case design team for the MECC, Leo Fernandez, Chris McNeil, Eric Kelly, and Gina Nicolosi. Um, I've just had a go at the original case as part of the MEWC. But I got some things wrong in that I haven't had a chance to go back and debug yet. So I'm going to attempt to make this a live solve, but that may not succeed, and I might just have to come back and make some addenda if needed. But I'll try it live first anyway. Oh, and I better hide the answer tab because that's not something I'm supposed to see. All right, so let's start with the intro. You've recently opened a fully autonomous dining establishment. Um, I, I don't think the opening hours came into the original case anywhere, but anyway, you want to analyze the performance and business operations. First, okay, so these are all the orders from your first month of operations from the 1st of June 2024 to the 30th of June 2024. So each one shows an order number starting from 1776. I guess this is like a US independence thing. I don't know why it didn't start from 1, but anyway, that's fine. A date, the order time, which presumably those all fall between yes 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. We have an order ticket, which has codes for each item based on this table here. So there are 10 items on the menu. There's cheeseburger, bacon burger, western burger, hot dog, deluxe dog, etc. Those fall into categories. So there's 5 different entrees, 2 sides, three drinks. Each of those has a price. Each one has a code and a prep time, which got used in the last level of the other one, but I don't know what's going to happen within this one. So here's the customer order in sort of natural language, and here it is in sort of not quite computer code, but in code. Now, one thing to be aware of, and I only realized partway through my solve that I had gone wrong on this, is that um, if you want to figure out something like how many, I don't know, whatever, how many bacon burgers are in this, the standard way to figure out how many BBs are in a string of text is to substitute out all the BBs and see how much shorter it gets, and then divide that by 2. So like if you take out 3 BBs, it gets 6 characters shorter, you divide that by 2 and you get 3. But because this isn't delimited, if you look, for example, at juice box and beer. If you have a juice box followed by a beer in your order, then you will have a BB in your order even if there aren't any bacon burgers in there. And so that way of counting is risky. So anyway, that's probably enough intro chit chat. I'm going to start my timer and start actually solving. So first thing I'm going to do is, look at this, merged columns. So I was going to say the first thing I'm going to do is make this into a table, but now the first thing I'm going to do is bring it over here and kill these empty columns because that will make it a messy table. So we'll kill that. Okay. That's better, and then we're going to make that into a table. And I'm just as I did in the live solve, I'm going to name that I for items. So now I can refer to, just make that say name, category is fine, price is fine, code, just say time, and time saving for 2 plus items, I'll just call it saving. I'm just going to paste that over there in case I need it later and then change that to time. Okay. And then I'm also going to make this a table, and we will call this table O for orders. And the first thing I want to do with this table is give a reformatted order ticket to avoid that non-delimited issue. So let's just grab one ticket because I do want to make this video vaguely more educational than my normal racing on through. So for this ticket, all the codes are 2 letters. So every 2 letters of this is a code. So we can say mid of this. So let's just say, for example, mid of this 1, 2 is going to give you the first item. Mid of this 3, 2 is going to give you the second item. So it's a BB, which is a bacon burger, and then an SS, which is a side salad. And so if we can get a sequence of the right length in the middle here, then we can get all the items out. So we can say sequence, and let's just say len of this divided by 2, because there's 2 characters for every thing in it. Then that's going to give us the full list of the items that appear in here. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. So let's just pull this out so we can see what silly thing I did there. So this just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did this with one of my prep lambdas in the thing, which is why I haven't actually given this any thought. So you can see it's pulling out BB, then BS, then SS, but BS is not in order. So the first two characters in order, and then the next two characters are in order. So this should actually be going in steps of 2. So just make it steps of 2, and then it goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and do the same thing over here. Steps of 2, and now we've got the actual pieces. So WB is the last thing. That all makes sense. And so then what I want to do is split that up and then just put it back together with comma delimiters. So we're going to text join with, sorry, not a comma space, just a comma, all of that. And that gives me a sort of cleaner version of this, because then I can, I can look in this and say, is there a BB in there, or how many BBs are in there without having to worry about a juice box followed by a beer giving me a sort of false positive. So I just took it off to the side so we could see it spilling out, because if you put these formulas into tables, you have to get back to a single result before you can do it. But now that we've got it working, we can put it in here. I'll also just make it table references for fun, and I'm going to name that clean tick. All right, so that's a lot of chit chat and no questions actually answered yet. So let's dive on in. I'll come back to the bonuses later. What is the time slot the last order was submitted on each of the given dates? So in other words, on 6/1, we want to know what the latest time was, which in this case is 20:58:41. A handy function for this is MAXIFS. So we're going to say MAXIFS of the max of the time where the date is. We should be able to do all these at once, and that works. Okay. Reading order tickets. How many items are present in the given order number? So here we can just XLOOKUP this in. This is the handy thing about having named the tables, is once we hit O and one opening square bracket, these are all the things that are available to go from. So we want to look up the order number, and we want to return from either the order ticket or the clean ticket is fine for this one. So that's the list of things, and then take the length of that, and is 8, and every 2 characters in there is an item, so we can divide by 2, and that's the answer. I'll just grab that, cut, and put it over here, and then it's easier to copy down. Okay, so level 3. Reading order tickets, consecutive items. How many orders on the given date contain both items consecutively as shown at least once? Okay. So I don't know if this could fall foul of the delimiter thing, but just in case it could, I'm going to make this clean code, and I'm going to make it left of this 2, and comma, and right of this 2. That's a safer thing to work with. And then I think they have to appear consecutively and in the order shown. Yes. So then we should be able to just do a COUNTIFS with some text functionality. So I want to count how many times is O date, this date, and how many times is O clean tick. So I want to know how many times does the clean ticket contain this. And to do that, you can say anything followed by that, followed by anything. And in text wild strings in Excel, star is anything. So we're going to say star and this and star. Hopefully that'll give us the 11, and it does. And we'll copy down. Obviously, it's a lot more, reassuring when you can see that your answers check off here, which they won't for you in the live solve, but never mind. Okay, reading order tickets by day of the week. How many of the given menu items are ordered on the corresponding day of the week? I'm just going to scan through the rest of the questions here, because there are some other columns that it might make sense to add to this table depending on what questions get asked. So let's have a look. So I want to know about items and days of the week. I want to know about order price. Okay, so this looks similar to the main one. So there's a discount of $2 for combo meals. Oh, with an extra twist, if they're ordered before 4 p.m. Total amount charged for each order, including the discounts. Fine. Level 6 is about order fulfillment time. That's fine. And order analysis by time of day. Oh, and this is where we have the fun with text as well. Okay. So yeah, I think it is going to be useful to have columns for each item to see, and a column for weekday also. So I'm going to need some more space here. Let's do this. And then I want to take all my codes here and add them as new columns to this table. And I also want weekday. And that's just going to be text of this. So you can take the text of the date and output it in various formats, but if you use DDDD, that gives you the day of the week as text, which is how it appears here. So then I want to do this. I want to, so I mentioned that the way to figure out how many times this occurs in this is just figure out how much shorter it gets if you take it away. So we're going to take the length of this minus the length of what you get when you substitute from this, get rid of, now I have to be careful with table references here because I want to be able to copy this across. So this is saying the header of column CB, but what I really want is the header of the column I'm currently in. So I'm just going to click on a different cell, change that to 4, so it's pointing to here, and then I want to lock that. And this is automatically locked to a column because of the table name. So we're substituting that out, and then we need to, so it will get a certain number of characters shorter for each CB. There isn't actually any CB, but let's say you took a BB. I see one BB in there, so we'll get 2 characters shorter when you take that out. So we just want to divide that by 2. So brackets around it, divide by 2, too few arguments. Oh, right, sorry. Substitute with blank. Okay, and then I can fill that across. And now I might prefer to have, no, I can't, never mind. Okay, so I'm just going to put the names up above here. Cool. And then for the later thing, I'm also going to count the number of entrees, sides, and drinks. So I just need another couple of columns here. Entrees, sides, and drinks. So the first 5 items are entrees. So everything up to the deluxe dog. Yep. Then the next 2 are sides, so that's the side salad and the fries. And the last 3 are drinks, which is the juice box, the beer, and the soda. Okay, so now let's come back to this one. We want to know how many Western burgers on Friday. So I'm going to XLOOKUP Western burger in here, in this list of headers, and I'll lock that. And then I want to return from here, this whole row. And that will give me a column. And actually, XLOOKUP will return a reference. So I think I can use this column inside a COUNTIFS. So I'm going to say COUNTIFS, where that column is, no, sorry, I want to SUMIFS. I want to sum that column where the column weekday is this. And that gets 781, so I feel good about that. Let's move it over here. Oopsie-daisy. And fill down. Hooray. Okay. Order price. Combo meal consists of an entree, a side, and a drink. There's a flat discount of $2 for combo meals ordered before 4 p.m. What are the total amount charged for each order, including the discounts applied for combo meals? So first, let's figure out the discount. Now, there's a subtlety here, which, let me find, can I find it? Yes, here's an example. So this came up in the MECC case as well. And I read it as, if you have at least one of each of these 3 things, then you get $2 off. But what it actually meant was each combo meal. So here, for example, where you've got 6 entrees, 2 sides, and 3 drinks, you get 2 discounts because you can make 2 combo meals from this set. But with this slot where you only have 1, you only get 1 discount. So we'll say discount, and that is going to be the minimum number of these 3, and only if it's before 4 p.m. So you can say if, or, you know, I was about to say you can say if or you can multiply, but this is meant to be for a slightly more educational tilt than usual. So if order time is, what did it say, before or before? Yes. So if order time is less than, we can say time of 4 p.m. is 16:00. Then I want that minimum, otherwise no discount. So that's the number of discounts that you get. So you can get up to 5 discounts, and then I'm going to want to figure out a price. And again, I'm going to end up putting a formula into the table, but let me just pull out an order and play with it longhand first. Sorry, so take this over here, paste, and then let me text split this by comma. That'll give me all the individual items. Then I can XLOOKUP all of these in item code, returning from item price, and that'll give me the cost of the meal before discounts, and then I can sum them up. And so if I take this and put it inside here, now I've got one formula that will take me straight from my list of ticket to my price before discount. So I'm going to grab all of that, clean that up, put it in here, and I just want it pointing to the clean tick, which is this one. And then I want to subtract off, I think it's a $2 discount for each one, so it's minus the number of discounts times 2. So that is the price. So then here we should be able to say XLOOKUP this in O order number, returning from O price. And that was 53 before, so that's good. And then we can copy down, and that checks out. Okay, cool. Level 6, time to fulfill orders. Each order is prepared by a chef bot, one item at a time. Each entree in an order takes a different amount of time to prepare. Sides and drinks are prepared instantly. If an order contains 2 or more of a specific entree, okay, then there is a time saving associated with that specific entree. Prep time and savings are available in the menu table near the top of the worksheet. What are the total time in seconds required to prepare each given order number? Okay, so bacon burger, hot dog, Western burger, hot dog, Western burger. Okay, sure. Contains 2 Western burgers, so you take off those each and that each. Okay, so I need another column here. I'm going to call it time, and only entrees have prep times, so I'm just going to let's make it a lookup to be a little more proper. So we'll XLOOKUP these in I name, returning from I time. So that's the sort of max prep time, and then you could also potentially prep it faster with, what is this thing called? Oh, time 2, that's a terrible name. Call it saving. Anyway, okay, so sorry, I'm going to take this. I'm going to say I can take that and subtract off the saving. So this is the time it'll take if there's more than one. This is the time it'll take if there's one. So then here I can say sum of these 5 columns times if this is greater than or equal to 2, then it's going to be this prep time, lock. Otherwise, it's going to be this prep time, lock. Found a typo, probably missed a closing bracket. Yes. So this bracket here closes the if. You can see the orange here and the orange here. And so I just need to close the sum as well. Okay, 0 seconds. Oh, yeah, sure, because it's only sides and drinks. That's fine. All right, so let's do an XLOOKUP of order. No, sorry. Whoops, getting ahead of myself. XLOOKUP of this in O order number, returning from O time. And that seems to be working. Hooray. Okay. Level 7, order analysis by time of day. How many orders made before the time indicated contain the following items or more in the same order? In the same order, sorry, as in the same ticket, not in the listed order, I think. Okay. 163 orders that contain 3 or more beers and 1 or more cheeseburgers. Okay, so there's a few things going on here. One is you need to extract either the number or A from here. And the second is you need to look these up, but there can be plurals. So let's do it one thing at a time. Say count 1, count 2. The count is the easier part, I think. So we're going to say text before this, before space. That's good. and then I'm going to say minus minus to convert into numbers, and that will error out on the A's, and the A means that it should be just 1. So we're going to say if error that, then 1. So that's the number of each item that we have, and then we need to figure out what item code it is. So then code 1 and code 2. So then we will say text after each of these, after a space, and by default it does after the first space, which is what we want. Now there's here you can have in the item menu you'll have beer, but here you've got beers. Also potentially if you've got juice boxes in the plural, there was one juice boxes order. No, it looks like there aren't any here. You don't have to worry about that. But anyway, let's think about a general approach that will let us get all of these. Sorry, my table's over here. Get all of these and convert them into codes. So just move that up there. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm just going to take the list of names and I'm going to add to that. And you can make an array constant like this. So I want that, add an S, and add an ES. You could be more thoughtful about it and, not add ES to phrases or anything like that, but there's really no need to be. So then we're going to flatten out that to call. So then we get cheeseburger, cheeseburgers, cheeseburgeres, bacon burger, bacon burgers, bacon burgeres, and so on. And then we want to get the corresponding codes. So one way we can do that is so we want to kind of repeat this column 3 times and then flatten it. So you could say hstack this with this with this, and then flatten that, or you can say something like if sequence comma 3, then code, and it will naturally, because this is the sequence 3 is 1, 2, 3 across, because you're using the 3 in the second argument, and because the codes are down, it will naturally expand that. So then we can call that also, and now we have all of these possible plurals of cheeseburgers or CB and so on down. And then just to make the haters mad, I'm going to use a VLOOKUP here. So let's name this, we'll call it plural lookup. So now where are we? We're down here somewhere. Here. So then I'm going to VLOOKUP this in plural lookup, second column 0. And that will give me my codes in a way that behaves. Okay, so now finally I need to count and the time. Okay, so then we're going to have a COUNTIFS with 3 conditions. So we're going to say COUNTIFS. So the first condition is going to be that the BE column is at least 3. So we're going to XLOOKUP again, BE in, well actually we can just look up in the whole header section. So in addition to listing out all the columns, you also have all these hash things, which is like the whole table, the data, the headers, etc. So here we want to look up in the headers and return from the whole table, which we can just put O. So we want that to be greater than or equal to 3. I hate that it puts the sheet name in when I do that, but never mind. Then we want the same thing for, well, let's just put them on consecutive lines, it's a little easier to see, where that lookup is greater than or equal to K. And we want O time to be less than I to 89. And that gives 0, which is not the desired answer. Okay, so let's see how many 3 BE. So where are we? I want at least 3 beers. I want at least 1 cheeseburger. And I want it to be after 1. Greater than or equal to, I think I can just put, oh sorry, no, before, so it have to be less than. And there's my 40, so what is my COUNTIFS getting wrong? Let's just take these out one at a time and see which one is breaking it. So if I take that out, now I've got 163 orders. Okay, so, is this formatted as text or something weird? No, that looks, yeah, that's formatted okay. Did I, okay. Nah, COUNTIFS. Oh, time is less than, shoot, it's because I added a column called time, but this is order time. So this is the time it takes to do the thing, and none of those are less than a half a second or whatever. But okay, sorry. So just need to point to order time. Now we got 40. That's better. And hopefully these now check out, and they do. Hooray. Okay. Bonuses quickly. What is the minimum number of orders placed in a single day? What is the total number of items ordered across the historical data? That's one I can do immediately because of the setup. So we can just sum, actually we could sum just these 3 columns, or we could sum all 10 columns. Either way, it should be fine. What is the total quantity sold of the most popular item? So we can, what we want is to sum up each of these columns and find the biggest one. So we could just go and do them one by one, but let's show you a cool trick. We can say by call, well, let me put it over here so you can actually see it spread out, by call of this range, sum. And that will give you your 10 column totals, and then you can wrap that in max and get the answer. How many customers placed an order saying, may I order? So again, this is a handy COUNTIFS one. So customer order has to begin with may I order, which means it's may I order followed by a star, which stands for anything. What is the most popular item in orders that only include one item? Okay. All right, so, and minimum number of orders placed in a single day. Okay, so for the orders placed in a single day, you can say equals sequence of 30 days starting from the 1st of June 2024, and that's, and then we can say equals COUNTIFS O date is this. If you're feeling a little fancier, you could also group by O date, O date again, and rows, and maybe 0, 0, just to make sure there aren't any totals, and that'll give you the same thing. Or if you're feeling super fancy, you could grab all this, put it into the one formula, and wrap it with, what are we interested in? The minimum number. Wrap it all with min, and have a handy dandy single cell solution. And finally, most popular item in orders that only include one item. So we can use a similar group by trick here. So we can say group by O order ticket, O order ticket, rows. So we're saying how many rows match each code, no totals, and we want to sort in descending order by the total, which is the second column. Gosh, that's a little slow. So we could just manually look down here and say, okay, well, there's only one where WB equals 38, or we could use the filter option, which would be len of O order ticket has to be equal to 2. And then we'd only get the ones that only come up once. And what do we want? We want to give the menu name. Okay, so we can take at of this to extract the first item, and then we can XLOOKUP that in, oops, in I code, returning from I name. And it's the Western burger. And hopefully when I put this in, we will be all done. I don't have a score somewhere, but yes, I think that's everything done. Alrighty. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.